In the heart of ancient Rome stood the Colosseum, once ringing with cheers and clashing steel. Aspects of ancient civilization that qualify as sensational are particularly prone to tenacious misconceptions. In their survival and prosperity in a harsh political environment, Roman civilization stood as a testament to power. Civilized society thrived on honor, ambition, and perseverance. Their cultural practices reflected the Roman identity of the time, with one sensational example taking the lead: the gladiator spectacles. The gladiatorial games are often perceived through a modern lens of savagery, but a timely analysis of the arena's mechanisms, the traditions in Roman culture, and the spectacle's socio-political impact show that they were a reflection of civilization, navigating the intricacies between power, culture, and authority. The spectacles were held for entertainment in ancient Rome, open to all citizens. Staged in lavishly decorated amphitheaters such as the Colosseum, they displayed feats like theatrical reproductions of battles, chariot races, athletic contests, and public executions. But the real climax was the gladiatorial fights. Gladiators were armed men who were picked from socially excluded groups such as slaves or criminals. They were pitted against each other on the arena in a fight to death. To give us an example of what they look like, let's listen to Tom Holland's description of a gladiator.
What are they called? The pads? And a helmet with a tennis ball on the top, and he's standing on a podium, and he's got these big arms.
Cruel as it sounds at first, we need to evaluate the games from the Romans' eyes. For example, the gladiators weren't merely sentenced to the arena. For them, the Colosseum was a chance at redemption, a fleeting moment where society's neglect could be replaced with reverence. Imagine how the Colosseum rose above the gladiator, with 80,000 spectators all engaged on the arena. Once a common slave with little opportunity, the gladiator could now hear the chants in his name from all around. According to historical records of the time, they seemed content that their last memory was of their own people honoring them.
We who are about to die, salute you!
The battles were also a practice of discipline and honor amidst the chaos. Gladiators adhered to traditional Roman fighting strategies and civic codes of conduct even in the face of mortal danger. Archaeological finds in gladiatorial tombs uncovered singular fatal blows to the head, a testament to the self-restraint gladiators showed even in such grave moments, an insight of respect to life amidst death. An honorable death was as important as having lived an honorable life for Romans, exemplified by the properness and the attention to detail on the arena. Naturally, a social organization of this extent required the efforts of many. The cleaning staff removed bodies from the arena and used cleaning supplies along with fragrances to make the arena more presentable. Technical crew used mechanical elevators in underground tunnels to move the caged wild animals safely. Small businesses and vendors sold belongings of gladiators for good health, and businessmen even used product placement. Afterwards, critics discussed the games and vocal citizens made graffiti on the city walls. All these civic duties by citizens embody an inherent civility that transcended the gore of the arena. In a way, gladiatorial spectacles were woven into Roman identity, a defining practice of being Roman. As a nation of conquest, Roman society revered virtuous fights, and the arena became a stage for a display of power. A demonstration not just over common criminals, but over other nations, over nature, and over the very concept of death itself. The display of wild plants, animals, and prisoners of war was a proclamation of Roman triumph and community. Rome had existed long before humans were able to control nature. Adverse weather conditions, natural disasters, and wild animals were still devastating on their lives. Human dictation of nature was still a novel thing, and wild animals being slain by gladiators were proudly emphasizing their power over nature. This was a cultural narrative deeply rooted in the history of Rome.
Evet. No.
By the gods, this last kill was insane. What's the matter, Seneca? Are you not enjoying the spectacle?
Oh, yes, but one cannot help but ponder the undertones.
What?
The struggle of mortal men against fate. Look at the gladiators' use of the mats. It's a metaphorical reflection of the entanglements of life. Don't you agree?
Seneca, I think I just saw this guy's insides get crushed by an elephant.
The elephant. Maybe it signifies the untamed passions within us all.
On the other hand, the Colosseum was more than just an arena. It was also an excellent political ground. In a stage with so much commerce, conversation, passion, and so high stakes involved, political intrigue was inevitable. In the grand amphitheaters of ancient Rome, some prominent figures had found a tool of social control, leverage for ambitious rulers to dictate their narratives. First of all, many of the Romans living in the city were unemployed, and as Julius Caesar argued, unemployed people needed to be kept busy so they wouldn't cause problems to the state. Spectacles were a sure way to distract them from governmental problems and win their favor. But as a large-scale production, spectacles required lots of money, which only few could afford. Therefore, Roman politicians carefully planned the games for important dates, celebrations, and military victories, and so on. A lot of prestige could be earned from a strategically deployed spectacle, which left the generals, senators, and even dictators of Rome competing with each other. Julius Caesar, the Roman consul, was among the first to recognize the potential of gladiatorial combat as a boat-catcher. He masterfully won the public over to his side, and this was the main reason for his growing successes. He held lavish spectacles going on records for occasions he knew could be weaponized. His military victory in Gaul and the commemoration ceremony of his only child Julia are among the most successful ones. Emperors of Rome followed in Caesar's footsteps. Augustus made sure to attend and watch the games with his subjects as a way to please the people. Caligula hosted some of the most eventful games, gaining everybody's attention. He would then sponsor the factions in the arena to manipulate public sentiment and moral judgments. Trajan held large-scale games to affirm his authority after conquering the Dacians. At the games, emperors could connect with the people, which allowed citizens to voice concerns and authorities to make political demands.
The people, they don't seem to like me. After all I've done for the Romans, after I built the aqueducts, and yet...
May I suggest a spectacle, sire?
A spectacle?
Gladiatorial games, sire. We could fill the Colosseum, ask our wartime military to bring exotic animals and slaves all the way here, make them fight to death, and hold lavish feasts which our state treasury cannot afford, tax the plebs, tax the rich, turn the entire Senate against us, and we could do all of that for the leisure of our 80,000 unemployed Romans.
It's brilliant.
To the Romans, the Colosseum wasn't just a stage, and the combat only bloodshed. The arena was an altar of power, a display of wealth, strength, and honor, and the celebration of Roman glory. Beyond lay the political landscape where emperors and rulers utilized the games as tools to garner favor, command loyalty, and maintain order. Gladiatorial combat, though most easily disregarded as brutal spectacles, was a multidimensional tradition where functionality, culture, and politics converged. As the roars of the crowd faded into history, the legacy of these battles remains a testament to the nature of ancient Roman civilization.